Welcome to Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast, the place where you'll get inspired to live your life unapologetically, embrace your perfect imperfections, and do what sets your soul on fire. I'm your host, Lunden Souza. Happy today and welcome back to the podcast. It's been a bit. Thank you for your patience. I've been receiving so many messages of like, when are you going to post another episode? We took a little bit of a break, not really on purpose. There was just a lot going on in my life, and I'm excited to be back. I'm feeling good this morning. I took an everything shower. Ladies that are listening, you know what an everything shower is. You just like wash your hair, shave your legs, all the things. So I'm feeling very refreshed this morning, to say the least. But I'm super grateful to be back. I was preparing to record this episode and just feeling so grateful for the last 5 years of doing this podcast. It's wild. The last episode we did was back in April, and it just felt like we took a 2-month pause, but then I was like, April, May, June, July, August. It's been almost 5 months since I've uploaded an episode, and we're back. We're back every single Friday. I've recorded a ton of great episodes, amazing interviews. I'm excited to share with you guys, but yeah, we're back. And I think, you know, when I reflect over the last 5 months, it's just been all the things. And a part of me felt like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. This feels like all the things. And then another part of me felt like, quit your crying, quit complaining, Lunden. Maybe that's the baseball coach dad I had of just like, suck it up. And so I just kind of had to, reflect back and think, you know, no matter what we've been through, if it's hard for us, it's hard, right? And maybe you've heard me say this before, but I don't like the whole enchilada syndrome. I call it that, where people are going through something and then they just share it all on social media, share it all on whatever platform, you know, they have. I always feel like it's my role to live my life like Lunden. That's been the name of my brand since I was 17. And then learn from it, grow, and share those learnings. And so today I want to talk about resetting, right? If you need a reset, these are 6 tools for your next chapter. But I want to share a little bit about what's been going on in my life. And, you know, I hear people say things like, things don't happen to you, they happen for you, or like everything happens for a reason. Okay. Yes. And I heard somebody say once, and it just really stuck with me, like things happen and we happen back. We get to choose how to happen back. So just to backtrack a little bit, I was in a role in a director position at a previous company, and I gave them a really big notice. I was like, okay, when I took the position, I was like, okay, 1 to 2 years max. And after about a year, I was a little bit burnt out. So I was like, okay, a year and a half. So I gave them a 6-month notice. And then one day, well, it was June 4th. It was a Wednesday. I remember I get an email telling me that I'm no longer with the company and that we're done. And that was devastating because the role that I was in, I just had a big team, a lot of families we were working with. And that just felt like a sucker punch to the gut, right? And so through conversations with my friends, some of them were like, Lunden, you didn't play the work politics. You showed your cards too soon, whatever. I just felt like it was in my integrity to give a big notice because I knew it was going to take a while to find somebody and train them and all the things, right? So that happened right after, it was the Wednesday after Voice of Impact. So if you guys have been to Voice of Impact, my 2-day seminar to help you amplify your influence and get really good at public speaking and using your voice, it was the Wednesday after that. And Aubrey was still here, my co-trainer. So thank the Lord that Aubrey was there. I come home from the office just like in tears, just like so sad, right? And then, you know, what are you going to do? So I was like, okay, I'm going to take the next, 30 days to just hike and just relax and just come down. I went to go visit my family for a little bit. And it just so happened that Aubrey was back. Aubrey was back again visiting about a month later, and we went for a hike. And we climbed to the top of the mountain, and I tell Aubrey, I'm like, okay, I got to throw some shit off the edge of the mountain. And she thought I was going to start throwing rocks. So she like looks over at the edge and she's like, okay, I think the coast is clear. And I'm like, no, like energetically, you know? So I'm like, there's nobody at the top. Even if there was, I don't care. I was like, just raw, like just throw, you know, like with metaphorically throwing things off the edge of the mountain. I was like, I'm sick of feeling this way. I'm sick of feeling angry. I'm sick of feeling resentful. I'm sick of feeling frustrated. I just, you know, I'm done. Like, I'm ready for this to be done, right? Just like a mountaintop prayer. I dropped to my knees. I'm like, God, I'm ready for this to be done. So we have that moment, you know, a nice, beautiful hike. And then we go down the mountain and I get a text from Kevin, this guy that I met at a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat. We'd stayed in touch. He's the guy who me, him, and my friend Haley, we created Dinner on Purpose, Come as Strangers, Leave as Friends, which is like these dinner events that we host here in Utah so that we can meet new friends and connect with people. And so he messages me and was like, sends me a picture of this beautiful lake where him and his wife and family were there for, I think it was 4th of July weekend, probably. Yeah, because it was June 4th. So it was around like 4th of July weekend the following month. And he was just like, oh, I was doing my meditation and I was sending you love. I hope everything's going well. So I was like, oh, Kevin. So I call him, I tell him what happened. And he's like, Lunden, we'll create a position for you at my company. You can start next week. And I was like, oh my gosh. So Aubrey was there when I got let go. Aubrey was there when I picked up this new role. And granted, I've been coaching and doing the podcast and all the things, but I didn't realize how much I loved being a part of a team and working, you know, with people and putting myself outside of a Zoom screen, you know? So I was really craving another position, a new position of leadership. And it's wild what's happened. Like over the last 8 weeks being in this position, we've made quantum leaps and bounds in his company. It's wild. So now I'm in, you know, part of his executive team and we are crushing it. It's the Heirloom Restaurant Group for those of you that live in Utah. And we have so many restaurants in Utah now I get to, I've never worked a restaurant a day in my life, which is wild. Well, I guess I have because I've bussed a few tables at Station 22, but I just feel so grateful because I feel like every single thing that I've done in my career has led me to this position, right? It's a position of leadership. It's a position of optimizing systems. It's a position where I do get to be in front of the camera for some of the content that we're creating for the brands. And I'm essentially overseeing that everything operationally, marketing wise, just the collaboration across all the different teams, the communication across all the different teams, the training across all the different teams is a little bit more cohesive. So I'm obsessed with it, right? So when I think about that Lunden on June 4th, that was heartbroken, that was just felt like she got sucker punched in the gut. And I'm sure anybody listening can think of a moment like that where you just feel like the rug gets pulled out from under you and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? And then looking at where I'm at now, it's just so cool to see our ability to change and transform. And nothing is permanent, right? And I talk every day to my best friend, Kara, and she lost her husband a couple years ago. And she's just like, Lunden, like every feeling passes. And I know this, right? But when we're going through hard times, it's sometimes hard to remember that. And so here are 6 tools for your next chapter. If you need a reset like I did, if you are going through something now, if you know somebody who's going through something now, if you've been through something and maybe you're thinking, oh yeah, that was a lot. What are the tools that helped me really reset and get back on track? Maybe this resonates with you. And especially if there's somebody that you know is going through a tough time now, I think this is a really good episode to send them. The first one is use community, right? For that emotional check-in. so that you don't feel alone, right? There's certain things that you have to deal with alone, right? Nobody can reset for me. Nobody could take the pain away for me, right? No matter what, I can't say like, okay, I'm going through a hard time. Can you deal with it for me, right? Like that's not going to happen. So using community is so powerful. And I was on a call with Kevin Suber, who's been on the podcast before, one of a close friend of mine, and he's a leadership coach, and I spoke at one of his events in August last month, end of July, early August. And we were on a call, and I talked about how, when I go hiking, before I go up the mountain, I share my location with a friend, right? Like I'm like, this is where I'm at. And when we were talking, I was like, yeah, it's super important with your emotional and spiritual location too, right? To share with friends, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm not in a good place. I'm cool, but like I'm struggling or whatever it might be, right? I think I grew up, thinking that everything had to be perfect and you can't tell anybody like what's really going on. And I just feel like that's important, right? So number one, using community, sending your spiritual location, sending your emotional location to people, right? Just like we share our physical location when we're on our way to go visit someone or see someone, or when we're hiking on a mountain and we want to make sure, somebody's tracking us. It's like, share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. It's super important so that you don't feel alone. And being able to have people that I trust that are in my corner that I could share that location with was really powerful. Number two, meditation and prayer to reset your mind. There's nothing like it, right? Like I said, I climbed to the top of that mountain and roared a prayer of like, I am done with this shit. I do not want to feel resentful, right? And then meditation every single day, right? I know that might feel a lot for some people, but even 2 or 3 minutes, right? And working your way up to 30 minutes to an hour. I can't imagine a single day going by without meditation and prayer. Like I just can't, right? It's so critical to, I'm doing a 30-day challenge right now with my boss and Haley, who's our director of marketing. And it's a challenge that we found from Dr. Joe Dispenza, who you guys have heard me talk about before. But it's every day for 30 days, write down every single thought and feeling that's preventing you from being the person that you want to be. Right? What thoughts will you no longer think? What feelings will you no longer demonstrate? Right? We can't say, I need to wait till I get the job. I need to wait till this person loves me. I need to wait till this sorts itself out and then I will feel, right? That's backwards. That's ass backwards. We have to generate the thoughts and the feeling ahead of the experience if we want to see that in our life with our eyes opened. And so resetting our mind with meditation and prayer is so powerful. I just shared one on Instagram. I have one of those groups. It's called Rise and Shine with Lunden. And I shared a free meditation from Dr. Joe on YouTube. It's called Go Love 20. If you go on YouTube, GOLOV 20, Go Love 20. And it's a 15-minute meditation all about spreading love to somebody, right? And it's just so powerful. So I highly recommend that. Number 3, move your body, right? You guys have heard me say it's not about the workouts, it's the work-ins, but the workouts help the work-ins, right? We need both. And I was in fitness for over a decade thinking that you just had to exercise and work out and run faster and hit a PR and then you could feel good, right? But exercising is so powerful to move that energy, right? If we don't move that energy, it gets stuck. And that turns into disease. It turns into pain within our physical body, and being able to just exercise with intention, right? Strengthening my core represented, being stronger in my core values, being able to lift heavier or sweat more or just move and get stronger represented getting stronger and more resilient in different areas of my life. And there were moments where I would wake up in the morning and my heart would be pounding and I would feel nervous and I would feel overwhelmed. And I would just, wake up, get my workout in, get my prayer and meditation. And it was if like that feeling just, let itself go. But we have to choose to do that, right? Nobody could work out for me. Nobody could do the meditation for me. I had to do that. Number 4, fuel your system. I'm reading from my notes here. Fuel your system with proper supplementation, right? So taking my SNAP supplements greens that I talk about all the time, taking a lot of powerful supplements like L-tyrosine, 5-HTP, rhodiola rosea for brain health, all my Quicksilver scientific supplements, my adaptogenic blend, the one, the methyl vitamin B12 spray, all these things I'll be talking more and more about because supplementation is so powerful, right? Yes, healthy food and nutrition, critical, but I truly believe that it's pretty impossible for us to give our bodies everything that we need just through nutrition, especially if you have a full schedule like mine. And so being able to supplement with all of my favorites has been, I just notice a complete difference when I'm regular with my supplements. It doesn't change. You just take it once in one day and you're good. It's really about continuing to nourish our bodies with proper supplementation because I felt like my brain was playing tricks on me. Like I would get anxious and all these thoughts and I'm meditating. And then when I started meditating on top of nourishing my body with better foods and proper supplementation, game changer. I was even getting, I do this every month. I get the Hydrate IV therapy every month. So that I can just, jam pack my body with nutrients. Hey, really quick, I want to interrupt the podcast for just a minute to tell you about one of my favorite supplements for hair, skin, nails, digestive, and gut health. And that is Snap Supplements Super Greens with Collagen. Now, if you're following me on social media, you've probably seen me post about this a bunch because honestly, this product tastes amazing and it's jam-packed with nutrients, like I said, to support healthy hair, skin, and nails. It helps support detoxification, a healthy immune system, and there's even probiotics in there for a healthy gut. It's non-GMO, no sugar added, soy-free, grass-fed collagen, and every scoop is going to give you 7 grams of protein. And this is why I love it, because it's not like a protein shake. It's just a scoop of powder. It tastes amazing. I put it in water, or if I want more hydration, I'll put it in coconut water and mix it up. And it's like having a nice, refreshing beverage that's packed with a bunch of super greens and protein. So what I'm super excited about is that for listening to the podcast, you'll get this discount here, nowhere else, but for listening to the podcast. You can save 25% off on all your Snap supplement purchases, including the Super Greens with Collagen. And you do that by using code Lunden25 at checkout. That's LUNDEN 25. LUNDEN 25 to get 25% off at checkout. You can shop on snapsupplements.com or you can shop on my website, lifelikelondon.com/supplements. And you'll see there's already an additional 10% taken off. But you, because you're a podcast listener, you're going to get 25% off when you use the code Lunden25 at checkout. LUNDEN 25 at checkout to get your Snap supplements, Super Greens, and Collagen, and all your Snap supplements for 25% off. Now, let's get back to the show. Number 5, gain clarity through journaling and self-expression. Journaling is so powerful. In fact, a close friend of mine, we're also, super close. We've been meditating together for years. We did for a couple years and we kind of took a break and now we're back at it. And we have this shared journal that we journal in every day. It's a Google Doc. And so me and my friend Josh, we journal and we share it with each other and we leave comments on each other's journal entries, which is like really cool. I just think journaling and just writing is powerful. I went to a full moon ceremony with this girl, Kirsten. She's been on the podcast too. I love her. I met her in the teepee here in Utah doing a sound bath ceremony. Come to find out, she's my cousin by marriage, right? Utah is just the gift that keeps on giving. But we went to a full moon ceremony earlier this year when my friend Maritza was visiting. And so me and Maritza and my neighbor Bryson, we went over to the full moon ceremony and we actually wrote ourselves a letter and then she mailed it to us 6 months later. And it was so cool to see the letter that we wrote to ourselves in 6 months, right? So I think it's so cool to journal and to express ourselves on paper. And then it's so beautiful to go back, right? Sometimes I go back to journal entries and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't ever remember feeling that. Like that version is so distant. Or sometimes it just reminds me of certain ways that I've felt and things that I've overcome, which I feel like is super powerful. And then the last one is recharge through nature and rest. nature is so powerful. Grounding is so powerful. Getting your feet on the grass, on the rocks, on the concrete, on the asphalt, on the wood chips, on the, sand, whatever. It is so important to get out in nature. Forest bathing is, I believe, what it's called in the research, where you're just like in nature, right? Going for a hike, getting outside, disconnecting from our electronics and resting and recovering, right? I was talking with a friend. I went for a walk with a friend earlier this week, and I was like, yeah, I used to wake up at like 5 a.m., 4:30, 5 a.m. I thought I had to just get the ball rolling. But lately I've been sleeping at 7:30 or waking up at 7:30 or 8 a.m. And I'm like, who is this, right? And sleeping sometimes 9, 10, 11 hours because my body needed it, right? And I know that maybe not everybody, especially if you're like a busy mom or whatever, might not have time to get 8, 9, 10, 11 hours of sleep. But we all have to take time to recharge or we're going to burn out, period. So whatever you have to do to rest and get outside and get in nature and just let your body just land, do that. I posted yesterday a little August recap carousel post, and there's one where I'm just like face planted in the grass. Me and my friend Haley, we went to do a walking meditation after work in this grassy field that we love, and it was just such a long day, and we had been talking a bunch and in a bunch of meetings, and we walked out to the field, and I literally just like face planted on the ground. So Life Like London on Instagram, go to that post and you can scroll through. You'll see me face planted in the grass. I was like, I need nothing more than to just be like on the ground, in the dirt, on the grass. And it was so grounding and just felt so amazing. And, you don't have to do all of these overnight, right? These tools are here to guide you one step at a time. I just feel like these are the ones that help me the most. And I don't know everything, but I do know what it's like to need a reset. I do know what it's like to, be someone that wants to get out of your comfort zone and go after your dreams and not stop and not let anything hold you back. And just, I know what it's like to want to change and evolve and become and grow. And so I really feel like these 6 tools are so powerful for anybody's next chapter, for your next chapter, for my next chapter. Number 1, community. Number 2, meditation and prayer. Number 3, exercise, move your body. Number 4, fuel your system, proper supplements. Number 5, gain clarity with journaling. And number 6, get outside and make sure you're connecting with nature and getting enough rest. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so grateful that I get to just set up in my living room and plug in a microphone and just speak from my heart. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear all the guests that we're having in August. Some incredible humans, you guys, like best-selling authors, the writers of The Hunchback of Notre Dame and The Lion King, just like the coolest people ever. Danielle Massey's back from Shadow Work, a book that completely changed my life, a woman that completely changed my life. We're over 200 episodes. This one's, I don't know, like 210, 211. I can't remember, but I just feel like that is such a gift to be able to just speak and share my voice, share my truth, and have people out there that are actually listening. So if this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to share this with a friend. I would love for you to share this episode. I don't care where you're listening to it on, but send a text message, send a WhatsApp message, send a Facebook message, call a friend and just be like, hey, you got to listen to this, right? I have ambitious goals to grow this show even more this year. And I'm so grateful. So thank you for you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Self Love and Sweat, the podcast. If you enjoyed this episode or were inspired by it or something resonated with you, do me a favor and share this episode with a friend, someone that you think might enjoy this episode as well. That's the ultimate compliment and the best way to make this podcast ripple out into the world of others. And also you can leave us a review up to 5 stars wherever you're listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you at the next episode. I appreciate you.